Welcome to Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. I'm Rob Wilson.
And I am Tony DeQuano.
So, Tony, let's talk about a movie that doesn't get talked about enough.
I would agree with this. It's often forgotten.
It's a little movie starring Josh Hartnett and Bruce Willis.
And Sir Ben Kingsley.
Yes,
He's actually Sir Ben Kingsley in these credits.
Sir Ben Kingsley. And Morgan Freeman.
Lucy Liu.
Stanley Tucci. So many big names in this movie.
Yes.
In fact, I forgot that Stanley Tucci was in this movie when I started watching it the other day.
Robert Forster's in this movie.
Yes, he is. But anyway, that movie is Lucky Number Slevin.
Lucky Number Slevin. Such a punny name.
Yes.
Which I don't know if it actually benefited from having the punny name, to be honest.
I don't know.
I think that could be confusing for people from a marketing standpoint.
Yep.
I think it can make it, especially considering it's kind of like this grittier crime, neo-noir type thriller, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're just going with that pun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that sells what you're trying to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, it came out right around the time of movies like Smokin' Aces and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and they have catchy titles like that. And
that's a good point. I don't know if I thought about that. Yes, because it was 2006, so it was also around the same time as Sin City.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of movies that were kind of almost kind of like that Tarantino adjacent type of movie.
Yeah, I was
a little bit of a different style. It's a little different style than that Tarantino style. Yeah. Kind of a more it's more of that, again, more of a 2000s vibe to it. Usual Suspects would be another one. Mm-hmm. Kind of quick, trying to be quick-witted dialogue.
Yeah. I was going to say that this movie actually has a lot of like Tarantino inspirations, like inspired by a lot of Tarantino stuff.
Like the limey. Most of the characters in there aren't necessarily the best people.
Yeah.
It's just varying degrees of it, and this one has more true villains.
Yes.
So it gets kind of twisty in a way, right? Which, again, you're going into it expecting it to be kind of twisty.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but definitely in that mold.
Yep. A lot of the conversations and stuff are very Tarantino-esque.
Yeah, I think in this one in particular, the dialogue on the conversations are definitely kind of tip their hat towards a Tarantino style.
Yeah. And another person we did not mention that is in this movie is Danny Aiello.
That's what Danny Aiello's in this movie.
So is Corey Stoll.
And that was the other one. It was Corey Stoll, kind of before he became kind of a little bit more of a name, kind of an earlier role for him.
Yeah.
Oh, Ty Williamson's in this movie also.
Yes, he is.
Baby O's in this.
Mm-hmm. Baby O is in this.
They put a fat suit on him in this one, though.
Yeah, Baby O, aka Bubba.
He's got Bubba's lip back in this one.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting another film from him so soon. And if it was, I would have thought it would have been Heat.
Yeah. Yep. But also we have Kevin Chamberlain in this, who was also in a movie that we are both very, very fond of, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yes. He has, kind of a smaller-ish role in this, but he's been in a lot of things, in various roles, and but I love his role in Die Hard with a Vengeance. I was thinking about that. It's like, oh yeah, I kind of forgot he was in this.
Yeah, so did I. It's been years since I've seen this movie.
Yeah,
until the other day.
I've seen this movie once, and it was with you.
Yeah, I've seen it maybe 3 or 4 times before a few days ago when I watched it for the podcast. So, and it's been years.
And it was nice watching it again.
At least 10 or 12 years since I've seen it.
There's been different things I definitely remembered really well about this, and things I didn't remember at all. And there's things I thought I kind of remembered about it that I was wrong about, particularly how it ends.
Yep.
So, yep. Scott Gibson, Dorian Missick, Peter Outerbridge, Michael Rubenfeld. And again, it's like a lot of those movies at that time, it's got a large cast.
Yeah.
Some big names, some character actors that you just like, oh yeah, I remember that guy from that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people that, unless you really follow them, you probably don't know their name.
Yes.
But you definitely recognize their face.
And directed by a director that you probably have seen plenty of things that he directed, just not many movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because he mostly works with TV, but Paul McGugan, who did Wicker Park before this, also with Josh Hartnett. Gangster Number 1, I remember that movie. It had Malcolm McDowell in it. But after this, he mostly went to TV after this. He had Push, but then they had a Sherlock TV series. Victor Frankenstein was another movie that he did. But Designated Survivor, he did an episode of that.
Mm-hmm. Emergence,
Judgment recently. So, yeah. But it's a nice movie. I was looking at it, and it's one of those movies that actually has a pretty significant split from like IMDb to like Rotten Tomatoes. And what was it? I know its IMDb score is 7.7. Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes is 52%.
Really?
And then the popcorn meter, so for just the general audience on Rotten Tomatoes, is an 87%. Right, which seems rather appropriate. It's a movie I would recommend. It's not a movie I'm going to call great.
I would definitely recommend this movie. It's not the greatest movie I've seen, but I do really enjoy it. It's a really fun
52% on the critics meter does seem kind of low. And I guess maybe they just thought it was too much of a retread of some of the Tarantino and other movies of that era.
Yeah,
perhaps. But I mean, again, we talked about Josh Hartnett, and this was what he came on the scene. Probably the late 90s.
Yeah, somewhere in there, late 90s or early 2000s.
Faculty was one of the ones at that point. Go through. I like that he kind of briefly, maybe he's having a little bit of resurgence after being in Oppenheimer a couple years ago. That's right. Halloween H2O, The Virgin Suicides, Black Hawk Down, Pearl Harbor. Right, that was all between 98 and 2001. And then he had the brilliant, maybe it's not. I've never seen it. 40 Days and 40 Nights.
I have seen that one. It was, from what I remember, it's been a long, long time since I've seen it, but I enjoyed it.
Let's see. Hollywood Homicide. And then that brief
never mind. I've seen part of 40 Days and 40 Nights. I was thinking you were saying 30 Days of Night, which he's also in. That's the one that I saw years and years ago. That's the one with the vampires in Alaska. That one, I enjoyed it.
Yes, in Alaska.
Yeah, so Yeah,
he had a nice little run there. It was
good for what it was.
He had the small role in Sin City, right? Which most roles in Sin City were kind of small, I guess. Black Dahlia, Lucky Number Slevin, and in 2007 he was in 30 Days a Night, which was an underrated movie. Not great, but underrated, underseen, right? Yeah. It was well done for what it was.
Yes.
And then he kind of just disappeared for a while, right? But I think he handles this role pretty well.
Yeah, I do too.
In the role of mistaken identity.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And just trying to figure things out while Lucy Liu keeps coming over to his friend's apartment.
Yeah. Her neighbor's
It's such a different role for Lucy Liu.
It really is. But she plays it well. I mean, you don't... The whole time, you don't know if she's part of everything.
Well, right. That's the other thing. Is like,
if she's
what's
just
her role
in it,
and you don't know that.
She does a good job of keeping that ambiguity going.
Yeah, you just like you said, yeah. Most of the characters, like, you're just kind of trying to figure out, okay, well, how do they fit into this, and where do they go, or what's their motivation, what's their motives? Same thing for Bruce Willis's character, right? And, Bruce Willis is in this, and he's kind of the reason we want to do this, because we figured it's been a while since we've done a Bruce Willis movie.
Yep.
And we didn't want to do one where he was necessarily truly the lead, but we wanted to do one where
he was important.
He was a driving part of the plot.
Yes.
And it's funny, like, I think Hartnett's the lead, but then really it's probably Kingsley, Freeman, and Willis are kind of like, they're the next kind of three headliners in this.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm trying to think if Lucy Liu has more screen time than they do.
She might. I mean, how they bill it within the credits, I think they have Bruce Willis 6th. Lucy Liu is 4th.
Okay.
Stanley Tucci's between the two of them.
Okay. Because according to IMDb, you got Josh Hartnett first, and then Bruce Willis, then Lucy Liu, then Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley.
And maybe that's right. I'm just looking at Wikipedia's, but IMDb might actually have the more.
Stanley Tucci's not until 8th on IMDb.
But it's funny, like, if you look at the poster, like, it's Bruce Willis is the main part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, Bruce Willis is front and center in the poster.
And then you got the floating heads above him. Mm-hmm. None of which is Ben Kingsley.
Very popular poster style for that era.
Oh, yeah. Coming soon. Luck has nothing to do with it. Which is, I mean, there is luck in the movie.
There is.
But I would say, like, luck doesn't really have, so it doesn't have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's more bad luck. But still, luck.
Yes. Well, I mean, I think in the end, some of them do get lucky. You have to have everything play out the way it's supposed to play out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It plays out that way.
Yeah.
But then there's also apparent bad luck. And I don't want to get too far into that because that's going to, be easy to kind of fall into some spoilers. And I don't want to do that.
Yeah. So. But anyway, yes, I would.
Who wrote this movie?
Very much recommend this movie. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it's a lot of fun.
Yes. That's a good way of putting it. Again, it's similar to a lot of movies of its style. Again, it's not exactly the 90s style that you would have, Tarantino crime style. Again, it's definitely more of a 2000s movie. It feels that way. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I mean, it's kind of funny. I think it's almost 20 years old, and I think it holds up pretty well.
I think so too.
Right? Again, it's just kind of a classic kind of crime story. Kind of there's a little bit of whodunit and mystery to it, and they're trying to unravel all of it. And I think having a strong cast helps you to go along for the ride with it.
Yeah, definitely. So, should we get into it?
I think we can get into it.
All right. Well, as always, spoiler alert, we are going to be talking about this entire movie, beginning, middle, and end. So if you have not seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, pause the podcast, watch the movie, and come back and listen. If you have seen it or you just don't mind being spoiled, then keep on listening, but we will be spoiling this movie. You have been warned. So, one more thing real quick. So the music in this movie was done by Jay Ralph, who
really
doesn't have a huge filmography.
The name sounds familiar to me, though.
I think this might... I was just looking at some of his other stuff. I think this might be the only movie he's actually, like, in charge of everything with the music. Like, the main composer. Because others,
I think the music's nice in it. That's one of the first things I was going to bring up. Music.
But yeah, others, he's like score arranger or music designer or... he's the composer for the main theme in Crazy Love.
Sound department.
The title theme. He's a music consultant for The Good Shepherd. I think this is...
Yeah, I'm just
this
looking.
Might be the only one where he was like the actual, in charge of the score. Completely.
So looking at this, he's actually been nominated for 3 Oscars.
Okay.
But all in the song category.
Okay.
One for Chasing Ice, one for Racing Extinction, and one for Jim, the James Foley story.
Jim, the James Foley story. Huh.
This is actually also kind of appropriate. And so this gives you another example of where he's just one of multiple composers. There was a 2008, which is a fantastic documentary that I highly recommend. And it's appropriate, just maybe not appropriate, but just given the timing on this, Man on Wire, which is about Philippe Petit, the tightrope guy that would go ahead and walk across large chasms, and his most famous one was walking across between the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
And so he composed music for one of those segments. But that's probably one of my favorite documentaries.
Okay.
That was nominated for Best Documentary at the back in, I guess, for the 2008 Oscars for that year.
All right. See, that's one that I haven't seen. That's one documentary I've not seen. So I don't know. Maybe we should do that sometime for the...
Yeah, we've never done a documentary.
We haven't. And we are trying to do, all different kinds of movies. And documentaries are a genre of movie.
Yes.
So, yeah, maybe that's one to do in the future.
But yeah.
But I really, really enjoyed his song that he did for this movie. The Kansas City Shuffle.
Yes.
It's so catchy.
It's a very catchy song. And it's funny when you think about it, though, because like when that plays at the end, like it's such a stark contrast to kind of how they had the music during the opening credits.
Yep.
Because the opening credits and the music and how it's shot feels almost more like, instead of like this 90s, 2000s kind of neo-noir crime type of thriller.
Yeah.
Feels a little bit more like a 70s espionage thriller. Right?
Yes. And I love the way that they tie it into the movie also at the end.
Oh, yes. They tie it in very nicely. Because it's, you get some of these shots, it looks like there's this ledger, and then like there's this garage, this parking garage. It's slightly abandoned, but there's still cars in there, and there's this little old elevator going up and down, and yeah, it's providing this nice mystery and helping to set the tone of what's about to come.
Yeah.
But then there's pieces in there that you don't really expect to tie into later, but they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, all during the opening credits, yeah, all this stuff's happening. There's, a shadowy figure throwing a baseball.
Yes.
At somebody, and then blood splatters on a ledger. He, wipes the blood, closes the book, and walks away with it. He's got that small elevator in the parking garage, and somebody is walking to their car, gets shot, and gets breaks
shot
through
from behind. Right, you see the splatter on the one,
and it's just this little montage of murders, basically.
Yes.
As somebody's walking out of a building, and there's a sniper.
Like it's, connected to the mob somehow. Mm-hmm. It's got the wood paneling. Oh, that's right, I forgot that one. Yes.
Yeah, someone's out walking out of like a restaurant or an office building or something, and get shot on the sidewalk.
That's when you have the one that has like that office. It's got the wood paneling. Looks like it belongs to a bookie or mob guy, mm-hmm. right? And these two guys come in to escort someone, and the bodyguards they get killed, and then the guy behind this desk, he gets killed as well, yep. Right? So it sets up, kind of really, it really does show kind of everything that's actually going to propel the plot.
Yeah. So right now,
we're not going to get that filled into later, though.
Yeah. Right now, it just seems like it's just a bunch of random violence.
Mm-hmm.
That you really can't tell how anything ties together, but it all comes back later.
It will come back later. That's correct.
Then,
and we get a terminal.
Yes,
the bus depot terminal.
Yes, we get a bus station, and
it's kind of empty. It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's this one lady that's kind of sleeping in one of the chairs.
She's like laying down across a couple chairs, sleeping. Yep. And there's this guy just sitting there, just by himself.
It's hard to get a sense of this thing. We don't really know if it's night or morning or whatever it is, because we don't really have windows, but it's basically really, it's kind of a bright white, like clean, bright white, and then these blue chairs. Yeah,
these blue chairs, and this guy is sitting by himself across from this lady that's sleeping.
We don't know his name, but Sam Yeager plays this gentleman.
Mm-hmm. And he's just sitting there, and it's a close up on his face. He looks like he's just waiting for the bus or something.
Yep.
And then you hear Bruce Willis's voice. You hear him say,
"There was a time.
There was a time." And then the camera sort of pans out, and all of a sudden,
just thinks he wants to know the time.
Is sitting right next to him in a wheelchair.
That's why he's in the wheelchair.
So Bruce Willis is sitting in a wheelchair right next to this guy. And they just showed the room before, and Bruce Willis was nowhere to be seen. He just appeared right there.
Is he popping up out of the ground, kind of like Super Mario shoots?
Maybe. But anyway, so the guy looks at his watch. It's a real nice watch. And, he tells him what time it is. And Bruce Willis is like, I didn't ask what time it was. I said there was a time. So the guy's confused, and he's just trying to get out of this conversation.
I know. It's Bruce Willis, and Bruce Willis is not acting like John McClane Bruce Willis.
No, he's acting like mysterious Bruce Willis.
That's right.
So they get to talking a little bit, and
he tells him that his name is Smith.
Yes, he tells him his name is Smith. Bruce Willis tells the other guy.
Bruce Willis tells.
We still don't know this other guy's name yet. But yeah, so he tells him his name is Smith, and he's here.
Yes, if he's ever heard of the Kansas City Shuffle.
And the guy's like, Kansas City Shuffle, what's that? And he's like, well, it's when everybody looks left, but you go right.
And it's not something that everybody hears about. He's kind of, again, it's just Bruce Willis being mysterious and cryptic.
Yeah. He's like, and that's why I'm here. I'm here for the Kansas City Shuffle. And
And then he talks about how it's connected to this story that started over 20 years ago.
Yes. Talks about this. It's connected
to the
story
all connected by
a
series of the slightest of events that has led to this moment.
So he starts telling the story, and it
about a horse.
Yes, about a horse.
And the Aqueduct Raceway in New York in 1979.
So it sort of flashes back to 1979. And how he's talking about there's this guy, this doc, this horse doctor
from Antwerp.
And, that they would try to create sure things with races.
Yep. So when they wanted to create a sure thing, they would use him to give the proper injection that would help either way. I guess it could be either way to inject the horse, so it could, more
either
of a sure thing
to win,
or do something that
or hurt it,
right?
But there's this one horse that he was supposed to, give an injection to help it to run faster than all the rest of the horses and win the race. It was going to be their sure thing. And so, word got around.
Partially because he liked to get something on the side too much. He liked to have the motel room shuffle.
Yeah. So he gets to a bookie that's played by Danny Aiello.
Yep.
And he's talking to a gentleman. Let's see, what's his name?
I have a couple of names here. I guess I remember the right ones. Danny Aiello is Roth.
Yes, Danny Aiello is Roth, the bookie.
I have
Max. Scott Gibson plays Max.
That's right, Max. Abe was the name of the doctor that would be the guy that he used to help fix it.
Yes. So Max is talking
played by Scott Gibson.
He's talking to Roth, Danny Aiello. And he's got word that this horse is going to be a sure thing. And so he puts $20,000 on this horse.
Right.
It's the number 7 horse.
Max lives in 1-2 bedroom apartment somewhere there in New York, like Queens or Brooklyn, but it's above another house or something. It's kind of a very basic apartment. He's got a kid. He's got a wife. Yeah. You want something that's just a little bit nicer. So he wants a backyard.
Yeah.
So he figures he can, take whatever money he has in the bank and it's better than the sure thing. And that way he can have a down payment for this house. Right.
Yep. So, and Roth warns him. He's like, if you can't pay, if you lose and you can't pay $20,000, these are people you do not want to owe money to. And Max is like, it's a sure thing. I only bet on a sure thing. Let's do it. And so he takes his son Henry.
Yep. So he takes his son Henry. He says goodbye to his wife. Right? And it takes his son Henry. He's in the car. He's got a baseball.
Yep. So baseball. Max tells his wife that he's taking his son to a game. To a baseball game.
A baseball game. The Phillies versus the Mets at Shea Stadium.
Yep. And
she thinks that's wonderful.
She thinks that's awesome. And so they don't go to the game. They go to the racetrack.
Only Max can't go in because,
he's too young.
A kid.
But Henry can't go in because he's a kid.
Yes, but Henry can't go in.
But Henry tells Max that his friend's dad lets him go in.
By the way, Helen is his wife or Max's mom. Played by Victoria Fodor.
Henry's mom, Max's wife.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
But, yeah, so they park the car in the parking lot outside of the aqueduct. And
Max goes in.
Yeah, Max goes in. He leaves Henry with his watch. He tells him, 15 minutes, I'll be out.
That's right.
So, Max is sitting there holding on to the watch. And then we get the lineup. And the horses, they're off. And the number 7 horse is out ahead of the pack. The number 7 horse is out ahead of the pack. And Max is really excited. He's getting really happy. Then, whatever was in that syringe was too much for that horse. Because it collapsed on the racetrack. The horse just falls over, it collapses.
And then Max's heart goes from his chest straight into his butt.
Yes. Yes. If he didn't pinch, he would have pooped it out. But, yeah, so now Max is kind of starting to freak out because now he owes these gangsters $20,000.
Like, I don't know how I'm going to get this money. I'm gonna have to start giving stool samples out.
Yeah.
So he goes back to car's missing.
Yeah. So he's
standing around. He's looking around. He's just screaming for Henry.
Yeah, because his car is gone, and Henry was in the car, and so he starts screaming for Henry, and then he's met by a couple of guys. And they ask him if he has the money. And they, knock him around a little bit and throw him in a car and drive him off.
You can imagine where it goes from here.
They go and they have tea.
And it's not fixed.
And they have crumpets. And they just enjoy the day together. And he fixes the cable. Yeah, and he fixes the cable. No. Nothing as pleasant as that. No, they take him into a room and they beat the hell out of him. And then they tell him, that it's not just him. They're not just going to be going after him.
His wife,
but they're going to kill his family. And so as they're going through this, as they're beating him up,
the dishes.
The door opens, and she turns around, and there's a man with a shotgun. And then you have
little baseball on the glove.
You see Henry with his baseball and his glove.
That's right.
He's standing next to the car, and there's a gun.
He's just throwing it in there.
Yeah, and then there's
he's got he has that kind of classic like late 70s, early 80s longish boy's haircut, right?
Yeah.
And he turns around and he sees the gun in his face. And then it cuts.
And then it cuts
back to the bus depot.
The bus depot, back to Bruce Willis.
And this guy's like, oh man, that's horrible. Like, that's like, it's like, and Bruce Willis, right, just tells him, like, well, there was a new outfit in town. They needed to make their mark, and they didn't want people kind of making bets on, they want other people making bets on races that they were fixing.
Yeah.
And so they had to make an example.
Yes, they had to make an example. And Max just happened to be that example. And so the guy's like, yeah, well, that's terrible. I mean, why are you telling me? And he's like, because of the Kansas City Shuffle. And he points over to the other side of the room. And or was it the guy? Yeah, because he's like, yeah, it's Kansas City Shuffle. And was the guy asking what it was again?
It was like, well, yeah, he asked him, was that the inciting incident?
Yeah, was it the inciting incident?
He's like, and then Bruce was like,
no. He's like, no. He's like, no, that's a terrible story. He's like, that's not it. That's just the inciting incident.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
He's like, well, then what now? He's like, the Kansas City Shuffle.
The City Shuffle's like, no, this is.
Yeah,
right?
He's like, yeah, no, this is. And he points over and gets the guy's attention to look over to his left. And then when he looks back to Bruce Willis.
He's sitting, because Bruce Willis is sitting on the guy's right-hand side. Mm-hmm. And he points to his left. And then you see that lady's no longer kind of in the chairs.
The lady's no longer laying down there. And they're the only two in the room
towards Bruce Willis.
And he looks back toward Bruce Willis and just sees an empty wheelchair. And then the camera kind of, the angle changes and we see Bruce Willis standing behind the guy and he wraps his arms around his head and snaps his neck.
And he turns it around. And he then puts said guy into the wheelchair.
And puts his hat on him.
It looks like
Bruce
sleeping.
Willis was wearing a fedora
and
he puts that hat on him. And he's pushing him through the bus depot.
It's kind of long.
That's
kind of open movie, right? We had our credit sequence and now our setup.
Then we get,
and that's when it cuts to Josh Hartnett.
Yes. Then we get Josh Hartnett standing in front of a mirror.
He's in the shower. He's in the bathroom. Yep.
He just got out of the shower. He's got a towel on him. He's got a broken nose.
It's fogged, so he's kind of wiped off the mirror there, and he's looking at himself.
He's a
knock on the door.
Yeah. He's got a broken nose and is like bleeding a little bit.
Which, granted, well, we can get into that later, I guess. But yeah, here's a knock on the door.
Yeah. So he goes and answers the door. He's still in a towel. He's just got a towel.
He's going to spend a lot of time in the towel for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, he spends the entire beginning of the movie in a towel.
Yeah, the first half of this movie, or first the first act of this movie.
Yeah, he's in a towel.
Consider the previous stuff, the prologue. The first act of this movie, Josh Hartnett's in a bath towel.
Well, maybe not the whole first act, but
I guess there's some other sequences within the first act.
At least half of the first act.
Yes.
But anyway, so he answers the door, and it's Lucy Liu.
It's Lucy Liu. And he's confused because Lucy Liu's shorter, and he says, oh, I thought you were going to be taller from the sound of it. You got a deceptively loud knock.
Yeah, he had a deceptively tall knock.
That's right. Tall knock. And again, this is where we kind of get into the Tarantino-esque dialogue.
Yeah.
Right?
So she's there to borrow a cup of sugar from her neighbor, Nick Fisher.
He's like, you're not Nick. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm his friend. I'm just staying here.
I just got into town. Yeah. I just got into town. I'm staying at Nick's place. I'm Slevin.
And when he looked at himself in the mirror, right, he, his nose has been busted up, right? It's bleeding. It's bruised, right? And so she asked him about that.
And he tells her that.
Right. Well, it's like, oh, I should have known this was going to happen. Bad things happen in threes.
Yeah, it's like, so I was at home and
I lost my job. Well, he said I lost my job.
I lost my job.
Went home, and
my girlfriend was cheating on me.
Yeah, so he gets home early, and she finds her like that, and then he got kicked out of his apartment because it got condemned because there were termites.
Mm-hmm.
So his friend Nick was going to allow him to stay there temporarily.
Yeah, then when he got to New York, he got mugged.
He got mugged when he got there. Some guy wanted to see him, and he's just talking. He's like, he just asked the guy, am I being mugged? And then he gets punched in the face.
Yeah. The guy wanted his wallet. Only his wallet.
Yep. Only his wallet, as Lucy Liu will,
And so, when he asks if he's being mugged, he gets
I think
punched in
it's
the nose.
appropriate. We don't know what her job is yet. When you find out later what her job is, it actually makes sense that she's able to kind of pick through the certain clues.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, at this point, we're not even deep into kind of the crime aspect of the main plot.
Yeah, but so then she notices his watch he's wearing. It's a nice watch.
It's like, oh, the door was open. It was unlocked. Oh, that's right. And then she's like, oh, I just left the door open. It's like, yes, I just let myself in.
Wait, did you say? She's like, it was open or it was unlocked? It's like, what's the difference? Well, there's a big difference. Before he said it was open, now he said it's unlocked. But
was the door ajar or was it unlocked? So,
but then she asks about his watch.
But then she's like, "Oh, well,
he's wearing a pretty nice watch. He has
the watch."
And she's like, "So the mugger only wanted your wallet. He didn't want your watch too? I mean, it's a nice watch." He's like, "It's a fake."
And there's this other things about. I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Okay." So, and then she starts wondering, like, "Well, I wonder where Nick is." Like, and she's like, "Oh, well, we could be like Columbo."
And then she starts trying to describe who Columbo is. She's like, "He's this this old TV show."
We gotta understand. Well, what was here now? What was here before isn't here now?
Yeah. We gotta look at what was here now.
Like,
and what
I know
was
who
here
Columbo
before
is.
it's not here now. He's like, "I know who Columbo is," and so then he's like, "Wait, why were you here?" He's like, "I want to borrow a cup of sugar." He's like, "But you don't have a cup." It's like, "I need to borrow a cup of sugar. If I had a cup, I would have said I need to borrow some sugar." But I need to borrow a cup of sugar.
Tarantino-esque kind of like a little bit of Mammoth type dialogue too.
Yep.
So
she goes over the cupboard and she grabs a cup and she puts some sugar in it. And then she goes to leave, and as soon as she shuts the door behind her,
he gets another knock.
Slevin opens up the towel because he's going to go and change his clothes, and she comes back in, and she sees him with the towel open, and he wraps himself up real quick, and so then they have a little exchange there, and she goes to leave again. And then right when she closes the door, she opens it again and pops her head back in. She's like, I was just trying to get another show.
Trying to get Josh's Hartnett. But she doesn't get the other show. So, but, door locks. He goes back towards the bathroom, and then he gets another knock. And he thinks it's going to be her again, Lindsay again. But this time it's to these kind of not bouncer, but guys that are trying to be looking like intimidating.
These two henchmen.
Henchmen. Thank you. Right, played by Dorian Missick and Recordai Williamson. We have Elvis and Slow. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, boss wants to see you. Right, and he's like, what? It's like, I'm not.
Yeah, boss wants to see you. He sent us to come and get Nick Fisher.
You look like you live here.
Yeah.
You got ID. It's like, it's funny. Say that. Say that.
It's like, no ID. You're in the place where we're supposed to go pick up Nick Fisher, but you say you're not Nick Fisher.
As far as I'm concerned, you're Nick Fisher.
Yeah. So they take him. They don't let him get changed. They don't let him put clothes on. He's still in the towel.
He stays in his towel. Right? And have we said this is in Manhattan? I don't think.
No, we haven't said that, but it is.
This is in Manhattan. He's in Manhattan, right? And so they take him down, down to this like apartment complex. They get out, he gets in, and they walk into the elevator, and he sees a security guard there, and he kind of gives him a wave, and the guy's looking at his the cameras. He's got a gun right there that's just ready in case anything happens.
Yep.
And they go in the elevator, and it's just the three of them. They go all the way up.
To the top.
To the penthouse.
And they get out of the
elevator. And
elevator.
Then you get that distinctive voice as he's getting off the elevator, and he's looking around. It's Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm. You get
He's the boss.
Freeman's voice. He is the boss. His character's name is just the boss.
It's just the boss.
And he comes down, and Josh Hartnett is trying to say that he's not Nick Fisher. And Morgan Freeman is like, well, my men were sent to get Nick Fisher. Nick Fisher owes me $96,000. Do you owe me $96,000? He's like, no, I don't. Can you prove you're not Nick Fisher?
Yeah. And he says, like, well, technically, you owe Slim. You owe Slim.
Yeah.
And Slim owes me.
So you
owe me $96,000.
And he's like, but what if I can't pay $96,000? It's like, okay, well, why don't we call it an even 90?
It's like, that might be difficult too.
Okay, well, how about...
It's like, then, how about you work for me for one job?
How about you do a job for me, and we call it even? He's like, well, I guess that would depend on the
kind of job?
And then we get a little bit of exposition.
There's this, do me a favor. There's this pact that was broken. So between him and another boss in the area, but this guy is just called the rabbi.
And
he's called the rabbi because he is a rabbi.
Yeah, he is a rabbi. Yeah, because Slevin asked him, why is he called the rabbi? And the boss says, because he's a rabbi. And so basically, they had this pact. They used to work together, the boss and the rabbi. They used to be partners. And then they had a falling out.
It's been almost 20 years.
And they had a pact. They wouldn't bother each other.
But they've had a falling out, but they've had like a truce.
Yes. They've had a truce.
Right? And they find out that their headquarters, their apartments, are across the street from each other. They can see each other.
Directly across the street from each other. Though Josh Hartnett doesn't know this yet. That they're right across the street from each other. But we're shown glimpses of the rabbi over in his penthouse.
Yes. And we see that the rabbi is none other than Sir Ben Kingsley.
Yes, Sir Ben Kingsley is the rabbi.
Gandhi has become a rabbi.
Yes.
That is also a murderer.
Yeah. And a crooked Russian cop.
Yes. You can check out our Trans-Siberian episode from last year. So, I like how we've had them about a year apart from each other.
What Ben Kingsley movie are we going to do next year?
Maybe it'll be Gandhi.
Maybe. Maybe it'll be Iron Man 3. But anyway, so we find out that the boss's son has been murdered. And he is convinced that the rabbi did it.
So he wants to take care of the rabbi's son.
Yes.
Who is called the fairy.
Yes.
And
the rabbi's son is
played by Michael Rubenfeld. But everyone calls him the fairy.
Which, of course, Josh Hartnett's like, well, why do they call him a fairy?
Because he's a fairy.
Because Yitzhak is a homosexual. And so the boss wants Nick Fisher, Slevin, to kill Yitzhak so that he can get the rabbi back for killing his son.
And so how long are you going to need to do this? It's like a week. It's like, how about 3 days?
Yeah, about 3 days. And he's like, okay, so they sit down for a game of chess.
Is that when chess happens?
Yes.
Is that the next meeting?
No, that's this one because they're talking about the week or 3 days, and
that's right.
He and the boss says, "Okay,
the boss is playing with one of the henchmen."
Yeah, when they walk in, he was playing with one of while he's talking, he's playing with one of the henchmen, and then he beats the henchman, and he's
trying to tell the henchman not to do a certain move, and the henchman kind of does it and loses, and. We find out that the boss is kind of like Chewbacca. You just don't let him lose.
You let him win. You let the Freeman win.
You don't beat him. You let him win. You let the Wookiee win. You let Morgan Freeman win.
And so he tells Nick Fisher to sit down, and he's like, "Tell you what, if you can beat me, you have your week."
That's right. This is at this point. That's right. And he loses.
Well, they're playing, and so this whole time that they're playing, it's sort of cutting back and forth between Morgan Freeman and Josh Hartnett playing, and Morgan Freeman and Bruce Willis playing.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Because he had hired Bruce Willis. We find out during that little game that he had hired Bruce Willis
we find out that
to kill
after
Yitzhak.
He leaves.
He had hired Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis has another plan. He's going to get someone else to kill Esau for him.
Yes.
And the boss is like, well, who really is this Nick Fisher guy? And he just says, like, he's nobody.
Yeah. He's nobody.
The boss is like, all right. Okay.
And then he asks him, how are you going to do it? It's like, well, I'm going to have Nick Fisher. He's going to go into Yitzhak's apartment, kill Yitzhak, then I'll come in, kill Nick Fisher, and arrange them, take off their clothes, make it look like it was a lover's
gone bad.
No, make it look like it was a sort of a murder-suicide.
That's right.
A lover's quarrel. Because he specifically hired Bruce Willis to do it because he didn't want it to look like a job.
Exactly. He needs to make it just look like it's. Yep. He doesn't want the rabbi to really catch on to.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't want the rabbi to know that he's the one that did it.
So the boss goes along with it. And, obviously, Slevin has to go along with it. And he leaves. He gets down.
Well, he gives him a day. He gives him a day to decide if he wants to do it.
That's right. He gives him a day to decide. Thank you.
And while they're playing chess, Bruce Willis walks in.
Oh, that's right. And then he gives him kind of a look.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because Bruce Willis has sort of been sitting back behind a wall this whole time.
Is the chess game the next day when he goes back?
It might be. Yes. I think it is.
Right.
Now you mention it. Yes, because he's closed.
This is the next day when he goes back.
Because he's closed when he goes back. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is. The chess game was the next day. So when he leaves, he walks past
down the elevator, and then Bruce Willis walks out from some other room. Yeah, he comes out from some other room in the penthouse, and he just talks to the boss as he's going down the elevator.
Yeah. So he gets back to the apartment.
Well, when he gets out, when they get down back to the car, we see that there's some cops that are monitoring the penthouse in the apartment.
That's right.
And they see Slevin. He's like, and that's when he sees Stanley Tucci, and he's like, I don't know that guy. He's new. Like, see what you can find out about him, right?
Yeah, Stanley Tucci plays Burkowski.
And I think, is that the point where they also hear, like, oh, yeah, and I hear that Mr. Goodcat's back in town. Right? Yeah. It's like, he hasn't been spotted here in years.
Yeah, and then they're talking a little bit about Mr. Goodcat and how he's this legendary hitman that nobody knows what he looks like. So, and nobody's seen him and lived to tell about it.
Bruce Willis likes to play that type of hitman, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Anyway, so
he so they take Slevin back to Nick Fisher's apartment,
right?
And
Caesar gets in. He doesn't get to see Lindsay yet.
No, but he does get dressed.
He gets dressed. Yes, he puts an Argyle on.
Yes, he puts an Argyle sweater vest on. And there's a knock on the door, and he goes and answers it, and there's two more henchmen.
Yes, these are Jewish henchmen.
Yes, these are Jewish henchmen. One's got a beard, the other's wearing a yarmulke.
Yep. Corey Stoll, and who's the other one?
Corey Stoll and Howard Jerome, Abe. No, Abe was the doctor, wasn't he?
Yes.
Did we get the other guy's name? No, it was Abe. It was Abe because the doctor was played by Nicholas Rice. He was just Doc. So yeah, it's Saul. That's Abe right. And Saul. Howard Jerome and Corey Stoll.
Howard Jerome Corey Stoll. I don't know if it's Howard Jerome. Howard Jerome was born in 1939.
What? Wait a second. Yeah, he was. Well, whoever it was, they were standing next to Corey Stoll.
Oh, must be no. Here we go. The Mute, because he doesn't have a line.
Oh yes, that's right. The Mute.
There's a character called the Mute.
The Mute. That's it. That's him.
Played by Rami Posner.
Yes.
There we go. All right.
Yeah. So Saul and the Mute.
And now they want him to come with them. Same type of situation.
But this time Slevin's clothed. He's not just wearing a towel. And so they take him around the car.
And it's like, he knows you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know this guy. We're going to take you to the rabbi. Say, I don't know the rabbi. He knows you.
This time he's clothed.
And so they get in the car and they're driving. They're driving and the same way that he was going before.
So the Mute punches him.
Yes. Because he keeps on asking questions. He will not shut up. So the Mute punches him. And so
and the Mute right in the nose. Speak,
right in his broken nose.
Right in the nose.
So they're pulling up to the building.
They get back to the car. They're driving. And before he gets out, he looks over. He's like, he's sorry he punched you.
Yeah.
He's having a moral dilemma here.
Meanwhile, Slevin is sitting in the back holding his nose, trying to stop the bleeding. And they pull up to the same building that he was just in. And
it's just they're going to go across the street.
They're just going to go across the street. And so Slevin is like, wait, the rabbi lives across the street from the boss? And they're almost identical buildings, too.
They're almost identical buildings. Now, the rabbi, he's a little bit more paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
So he's truly a recluse. Like, he's built in bulletproof glass around his penthouse, right? He doesn't leave. That sort of thing.
Yeah. So he hasn't left in 20 years. He's had everything brought to him and all that. So
he goes up, right? So the these places looks the same, but the interior is very different.
Yeah, it's very different interior. So
and the rabbi.
Yeah. The interior is very different. And so it's basically the same kind of conversation that he was having with the boss. But this time it's the rabbi.
So
the rabbi's like, well,
Fisher and
you owe me $33,000. And he's like, you have, what did you give him, 48 hours to pay it? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And so it kind of goes along the same lines too. Like, I'm not Nick Fisher. It's like, okay, well, I know, I don't know if I really care about that, right? It's like, you were here before me. You're in his apartment, and maybe you just got unlucky. It doesn't matter. But here you are, and you're gonna get me $33,000.
Yeah,
it's kind of the long and short of kind of their conversation.
Yeah, he doesn't try to give him a job to pay it off.
It's a bit more the conversation's a little bit more philosophical.
Yeah.
Than the conversation with him between Slevin and the boss.
Mm-hmm. So he gives him something like 48 hours to get him the money, and then they take him home. So
he goes back home, and now this time Lindsay is there.
Yes, this time Lindsay's there.
We kind of missed a point where the first time they meet is that she's able to, back in the day where you had to kind of star 69 to find out who called you.
Yeah.
Or the last call.
That's right. Because the phone rang and he answered it and nobody was there.
Yes.
And so she's
able to kind of ascertain that this call came from this hotel in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And so she decides to do some investigating, and she goes down there, right? And so,
so she's back at the apartment when he gets there, and she's telling him all about her day, what she did. You know, she went to this hotel,
and she went up to the floor, and what room the call came from?
The call came from the room rented by a man named Smith. And
she talks about seeing this guy come out, and then she's like, well, she felt like it was weird. She was just kind of looking around the floor, so she got back on the elevator, and he followed her in, and she took a photo with her camera phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I particularly like this scene because, again, this is 2006.
Yeah, this is back.
I like how she's like, "Oh yeah, I really have to take photos with my phone because it's the quality's never that good."
Yeah, this is back in the early days of camera phones.
But she shows him the picture, and it's like this blurry picture of Bruce Willis.
It's not really all that blurry. It's sort of a profile shot.
Yeah,
because she's sort of holding it up to her ear like she's talking on the phone because it's an old flip phone. And,
yes,
she doesn't want it to look like she's taking a picture of him.
My old singular flip phone. Mm-hmm. I missed that.
Yeah. So
anyway, so she shows it. Yeah, and Slevin looks at it, it's like kind of. It's like I don't know him, right? And then she keeps talking. It's like, oh well, I saw somebody else when I got out of the hotel. And he was like, well, who? It's like, I saw you.
I saw you.
So the hotel is adjacent to these apartments.
Yeah. The hotel is adjacent to
because the boss saw him as the henchmen were taking him out or in to the rabbi's place, right?
Yeah. So,
then he kind of gives her the rundown of what happened.
And she's like, oh, so are you going to do it? Are you going to kill Yitzhak? And he's like, I think I am. I'm going to go and I'm going to tell them that I'll take the job. And so
then when he gets picked back, he tells the boss he'll do it. And that's when, as they're playing chess, Good Cat comes out. And like you said, they intersperse it. They cut it back and forth between their game and Good Cat's game. Well,
earlier with,
I guess I spoiled it. But Good Cat's game.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of obvious at this point that
it is kind of obvious.
Name is not Smith; that he is this Mr. Good Cat that they called it. But also, what we missed, what we did not mention, was after Slevin leaves the rabbi's place, Bruce Willis is there.
Yes, we see him there too as well,
and he's talking to the rabbi.
So he's playing on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Yojimbo.
Yes, he's like Yojimbo. And so
Josh Hartnett like Yojimbo.
I don't know. But all we know is both the rabbi and the boss hired Good Cat. Hired Bruce Willis. And so
that's when we find out. After that is when we find out that Lindsay is a coroner for the city. Right? And the detective comes down to see her because there's some bodies to look at.
Yeah.
And we see one of the bodies is the gentleman we saw in the beginning credits that was shot right outside of his car.
Yeah. And another body is the one that had a baseball thrown into his eye.
And he looks at like, oh, I know him. Yeah, he's a bookie. It's like, well, how do you know that? Well, he used to be my bookie.
Yeah.
Right? And so she ends up telling Slevin the story about this conversation down in the morgue, right? And then she's like, how about let's get some dinner? He's like, what? It's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I guess we can do that, right?
So they go. They go to a restaurant.
They go for dinner.
They're sitting at the
table.
It's
a nice restaurant. It's not a black tie restaurant, but it's a nice restaurant for a nice date.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a first date. You're not going to go black tie first date.
Exactly. So, but you are going to go nice.
And so, they're talking about how this is nice, fresh pasta. And they're just kind of joking about like, oh, yeah, like if this ends up working out well and we get married, we like, that'd be really one heck of a story that we could tell together when we go to like cocktail parties.
Another very Tarantino-esque conversation.
It's like, people like ask how you meet. It's like, oh, I'll be like, honey, no, you tell this best. Like, no, and then they'd be like, no, honey, you really tell it the best.
Yeah.
Right. So while she's sitting there, she's looking around and then recognize that the fairy is there.
Yitzhak the fairy is there.
Right.
And she's like,
she's like, well, what's that? It's like, oh, I'm going to go talk to him. And then John in the bathroom. Right. It's like, you're not going to kill him right now. It's like, no. Like, he's got bodyguards. So that's the thing. Like, he's got bodyguards.
He's got these two bodyguards that are on him all the time. And
he also has, in case anything happens to him outside of that, he wears a little necklace that has the Star of David.
And it's got a panic
also
button
a little panic switch. So if something happens, he could hit that, and then there'd be other bodyguards that would know what's happened.
His bodyguards will come running.
They could come in and help him. Right? And then we cut back to the street, and then we saw the van that the cops were in earlier. It's outside there. Right, and they're listening, and then the Stanley Tucci character's like, "Who is this guy?" And they say the fairy is there also. It's like, all right, well, something's going to be happening here. I need to go in and find out what's going to happen. So he kind of goes in. He's sitting at the bar, and he's kind of watching all this transpire.
Yeah. And so Yitzhak gets up to go to the bathroom, and Slevin gets up, follows him in there.
And he locks the door.
Yeah, he locks the door.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember, do we see what they're talking about in there?
I don't think we ever really see what happens.
But he locks the door, and Stanley Tucci, Murkowski is trying to get in, but he can't because the door's locked. And then Yitzhak comes out, and Stanley Tucci goes in, and he's talking to Slevin.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know who you are, right? He's kind of intimidating towards Slevin. Slevin's kind of not expecting this to happen.
No. So, Slevin's kind of trying to play dumb, and
right.
So then eventually Slevin goes back out.
He makes his way back to the table. And, she asks him, what happened? It's like, oh, well, we got a date.
Yeah, we got a date. And so now he's supposed to meet Yitzhak at a club. And they're gonna eventually he's gonna try to get him to take him back to his place. And so he does. He goes and he meets Yitzhak, and then they hit it off. They go back to Yitzhak's place, and they're in the apartment alone together. The bodyguards
we skipped ahead a little bit.
Okay.
So we get back to Nick's apartment, and so they Lucy Liu and Josh Hartnett
Lucy
their
Liu
version of
and
the Kansas City Shuffle.
Lucy Liu and Josh Hartnett, yes. So Lindsay and Slevin, they seem to really enjoy their night together, their date, and so yeah, they go and they have some emotional catharsis.
the Kenosha Kicker Polka.
Yes. Yes, the Kenosha Kicker Polka.
Whatever rhythm you prefer.
The wild monkey dance.
So he wakes up in the morning. He's and she's still sleeping. He tells her he's gonna get coffee. He's gonna come back. Right.
That's right. Yeah.
And so this is what's interesting. You get you get some shots here. It kind of where he's thinking about things where it looks like it's shifting between time frames, right?
Because so when he gets out, he's really starting to feel something for her.
Yeah, so, no, exactly. And all of a sudden, like, because when he's looking at it, when he wakes up, like, he's felt this connection, right? But when he's out getting his coffee, he meets one of the other detectives, played by Peter Outerbridge. It's like, I don't know what's going on with you and the boss and the rabbi. When I figure it out, I won't be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is Dombrowski.
Right? So, but then, she's still there when he gets back. Right? Because it's also one of the things that's being played there. Like, when he gets back, like, oh, is she going to be ready there to do something to him? Or is she just going to be dead? Right? You don't, they play that part well.
Yeah.
Right? So, but now then it's time for him to go see the fairy.
Yeah, so he goes and he meets the fairy at the club.
So he gets out there. Before he goes up, we get another shot, though, of the other two, the rabbi's henchmen in their car.
Yes.
And we see that there's these perfect bullet shots
holes
through the windshield, and they're both dead with headshots.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
And they get up there. Yusuf opens the door. He's like, "Oh, you're early." Yeah, like, that's okay.
Yeah. So
he's he's doing something. And
that's right. They weren't going to meet at the club. They were going to meet at Yitzhak's place, and they were going to go out. That's right.
And Slevin's looking kind of nervous, right? And finally, it's like, well, he just goes up and tells him, "Someone's trying to kill you." He's like, "Who?"
He's like, "Me."
And he's like, "Me." And he shoots him in the chest, shoots him in the head, right? And he never has a chance to press his little panic on his little necklace, right?
Well, he shoots in the chest. He doesn't shoot in the head. Shoots in the chest.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, he doesn't do a headshot.
And he doesn't get a chance to hit his little panic button. But then, so he's on the ground, and then Good Cat comes in. And we think...
And that's when...
And it looks like he's going to come in and shoot Slevin. Because that's what he told the boss he would do. But he doesn't.
We find out that the two of them have been working together.
Yes. And while they're sitting there talking, Yitzhak picks up a gun. And he's still laying there. He's still alive. And he points it at Slevin, and Good Cat shoots him in the head. Shoots Yitzhak in the head.
That's right. That's what happens. Thank you.
And so then he brings in a body bag.
Mm-hmm.
With a body in it. He opens it up, and it's the guy from the beginning.
It's like, it's that guy.
It's the guy from the train station, from the bus station.
So they're going to play it off like he's the one that was going to have a little quarrel.
Yep. So, they take him out of the body bag. Slevin switches watches with him. He puts his watch on that guy and that watch on his. And then it goes through this little montage of their whole plan from all along. And where they're going to find somebody that owes both people money. Somebody that's not important, but owes both parties a lot of money.
Right. So we get this Good Cat ass. Like, well, find someone. Yeah. He looks through the book and he finds somebody.
So the idea is that then it shows those murders at the beginning, the little montage of murders. It shows that Slevin is the one that threw the baseball into the guy's eye. Good Cat is the one that killed the guy in the parking garage.
Yep, you see him riding up one of the little elevators, and he comes up and he shoots the guy. And Slevin's the guy that shot the guy coming out of the building, right? He Slevin, sniper rifle.
The guy that went shot down, the boss's son.
Right?
Yeah, Slevin is the one that killed the boss's son. And so they've find in the book, there's this one person, Nick Fisher, who owes both people money, a lot of money. Owes $96,000 to the boss and $33,000 to the rabbi. And yeah, so this guy,
and we find
Nick
out
Fisher,
that Mr. Nick Fisher has done time before for molesting a teen.
Yeah. So
then when you hear that, like, oh, okay, he wasn't innocent, and you feel better about his death.
Yeah. So
no one that's missed.
Yeah, no one that's missed. So they, put the bodies next to each other. And then
Slevin leaves.
No, Slevin doesn't leave yet. Good Cat grabs the pendant and hits the button.
Oh, that's right.
And then goes and stands by the wall, like facing the wall.
Because earlier when he came in, he could hear kind of them talking behind this wall, and then that's when he hits the button.
So he goes and stands by the wall, points his gun at it,
but he's ready.
He's ready. You would think they would come through the door, but no, they bust through that wall. And as soon as they bust through that wall, he shoots them both.
Yeah, and they're dead too.
And then he sets an explosive, and they leave. And then the apartment blows up.
Yep. And they walk away from the explosion.
Like all cool, badass guys do in movies.
So, Good Cat goes to the boss. And Slevin ends up going to the rabbi.
Yeah.
Right. And at this point, the rabbi does not know his son has died.
No.
Right? But Good Cat goes and tells
the boss
the boss about it. And the boss is angry. He's like,
yes, the boss is angry because
I hired you
to make it not look like a job.
Because this was not supposed to look like a job. Right? And then he just says, he looks over at the rabbi's apartment. He's like, well, if the rabbi wants a war, he'll get a war. Then cuts back to the rabbi's apartment, right? And he's talking with Slevin.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes in and says, oh, I thought you were Saul. Okay, no, I'm not Saul. It's like ID was mistaken again, right?
Oh, we also forgot, like earlier when we saw Saul and the mute dead in the car, we also saw the boss's henchman dead.
That's right, we did.
Or no, we didn't. We didn't know because they escorted Good Cat up the elevator. Good Cat killed them in the elevator on his way up to talk to the boss. That's what it was.
That's right. That's correct. Yes. In the elevator. So the rabbi, because he does get a little bit more philosophical about things, like, names bring trouble. It's like, yeah, I remember I took my dad to see North by Northwest. Do you know this movie?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, I know it. Again, referencing movies and all, very kind of Tarantino-esque with the dialogue, right?
Yep.
And then, of course, in North by Northwest, it's all driven by mistaken identity, right? And he talks about how his dad needed a Buick, right? And it was at these points where the phone's ringing and Saul, and then the wife was like, it's Saturday. We don't answer phones on the Saturdays.
Yeah, we don't answer phones on the Sabbath.
It's like, and I thought Saul would be here. And then it's like,
so he's like calling out to Saul, Saul, answer the phone.
And he looks at it like, Saul's dead. He's like, what? And John Goodman's like, you don't answer the phone on Shabbos. Unless it's an emergency.
I know it's an emergency, dude. That's why I picked up the phone. That's why I answered the phone, dude.
Saul would pick up the phone because he knows it's an emergency. Mm-hmm. And Saul's dead.
Yep. Saul's dead.
Right? Okay. And so then we cut back. And now we're back in the boss's apartment. And we see the rabbi wake up. And he's kind of taped up onto a chair.
Yeah.
He's like, I've been here before. It's been like 20 years, but I've been here. I know this carpet.
And then
right,
we get the boss starts talking to him. We just get a close up on Morgan Freeman's face.
Yes, that's all we see.
And the
rabbi, like, well, this is your fault.
The rabbi's got
because you murdered my son.
Yeah, the rabbi's got a bloody mark on the back of his head because Slevin hit him. He had a little leather, like crop kind of thing that he hit him over the back of the head with, and knocked him out.
Yes.
So we kind
of get a brief.
They're talking, and then the camera pans out a little bit, and we see that they're both tied up to chairs back to back.
Yes,
or almost back to back, like shoulder to shoulder.
Indiana's dad.
Not quite like back to back, but it's more back to back, but kind of shoulder to shoulder rather than back. Yeah, they're kind of offset from each other, so they can look over and see each other. But yeah, so they're kind of arguing a little bit, and then Slevin and Good Cat come in, and they're. Now the boss and the rabbi can see that they're working together.
Yep, and they're confused, right? When Slevin finally tells them, "Well, I'm not Nick Fisher." They're like, "Well, who is Nick Fisher?" Like, someone no one's gonna miss.
Someone no one's gonna miss. And then they tell them a story about
Let me tell you a story
about a man named Max. And we get a flashback. We back to sort of fill in the blanks from the beginning.
Yes,
where Max. And he was taken in, the people that were, in charge of the guys that were beating him up were the boss and the rabbi. This is back when they were partners.
And we see they even killed poor old Danny Aiello.
Yes, they did. They even killed the bookie, Roth, Danny Aiello, for taking the bet. And we see, because where it kind of cut off before, when they were beating Max up, we see them put a plastic bag over his head to suffocate him.
Yes.
And then we see... that scene with little Henry with the gun to his face. He turns around, gun to his face, the camera pans back, and it's Good Cat.
It's 1970s Bruce Willis.
It's 1970s Bruce Willis.
1970s Bruce Willis looks awesome.
He's got a mustache and he's got hair. And
he's got cool glasses.
Mm-hmm. Got sunglasses on.
He's wearing a 70s suit. I would love to meet Bruce Willis in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, so he is pointing the gun at Henry, and he can't pull the trigger.
Because he's giving the puppy dog eyes.
Mm-hmm. So he, puts the gun away. He lowers his gun. He lowers the gun. We don't see the rest yet. But yeah, he lowers his gun. And then it cuts back to the present day.
Yep.
And they both put plastic bags over the boss and the rabbi's heads.
Well, did they do that first, or did they cut to the scene first with Lindsay back at the morgue?
I thought that was after this.
Okay. I think you're right. Yes. So they both put the plastic bags over their heads, and they tape them up, and they start having trouble breathing, obviously, right? Because they're about to suffocate because they got plastic bags over their heads.
Mm-hmm. And then that's when so Slevin decided that he wanted to kill them the same way they killed his father.
That sounds appropriate.
So because if you haven't picked up on it...
They thought he was dead.
If you haven't picked up on it, Slevin is Henry.
They had no idea Good Cat did not actually go through on his deal.
Yeah, Slevin is Henry.
Right?
Max's son. And he's getting revenge on his father.
That's why Good Cat hasn't really been back in over 20 years.
Yep. Because he's been training a new protege.
Yes. He's been firing ammunitions at Jack Black with him. Anyway. But yeah, that's when we kind of cut back to the morgue.
Yeah. So after the boss, after they kill the boss and the rabbi, then goes back to the morgue.
Bukowski's back there, and he's looking at. Is it the Is it this chick that he's looking at? And
it's
which bodies he looking at here?
So a couple more bodies have been brought in. A couple burned bodies. There's one.
That's burned bodies.
One in particular that they can't get an ID on because it's burned so bad, and so Bukowski asks about dental records, and Lindsay's like, "Well, yeah, if you could,
it's gonna take some time.
It's take some time and get a dentist in here to." His dentist in here to get to match X-rays and all that. It's going to take time. And then she notices the watch. She sees the watch on his wrist and sees that it's the same watch that Slevin was wearing earlier. And so she...
Yes.
Sort of
her heart
reacts
sinks.
to it. Her heart sinks. And Bukowski leaves.
Because she has feelings too.
And then after Bukowski leaves, then Good Cat comes in.
He gets a phone call. That's right. And shoots her.
Yeah. Good Cat comes in, and Lindsay turns toward the door and sees him standing there, and he shoots her.
And that's when Bukowski gets a phone call.
Shoots her twice in the chest, and she drops dead.
That's right. And that's when we cut to the phone call with Bukowski.
Mm-hmm.
From this Robert Forster.
Yeah. Yes, from Robert Forster.
So he's saying, they're talking about Slevin and Nick, and then, he talks about how some guy remembers this thing about this name Slevin.
Yeah. So, yeah, Robert Forster plays Murphy. He plays the same kind of character that he plays in a lot of his stuff.
Yes, he does.
But he's so good at it.
And he starts to give kind of the breakdown of this story again from that we've heard multiple times.
Yeah, that because it wasn't so much because the name that they got from Slevin his name was Slevin Culebra.
Yes.
He's like, well, we ran Culebra through everything, and we could not find anything about this guy, about anyone named Culebra. Now, the first name, Slevin, that rings a bell. Back in 79, at the Aqueduct,
horse in this fixed race at the Aqueduct, right? And it's like, was this legendary thing that happened because it helped make the boss and the rabbi, right?
Yeah. And
cemented
this
them
horse
as the new powers.
It was the number 7 horse, and the horse's name was Slevin. And so then Bukowski's...
And it's like, they killed this guy, Max. Together. They killed his wife. They killed the bookie. They even killed the kid. But it's like, well, some people thought that maybe they never killed the kid. Right? Because they had bodies for all the other ones, not the kid.
They never had a body on the kid.
And then they found, and it's like, oh, but then here's the thing, Culebra. I finally was able to run it through, and it's a Hebrew phrase that means bad dog. Right? Why no, I'm sorry, that's right. He never actually says it.
Yeah.
So, you can see
here. So as
they're cutting through it, they're cutting through the backstory again.
Yeah,
and then that's when we see the shot with the wife and the mom.
Yeah, and so no, not yet, not that just yet, but yeah. So Bukowski is sitting in the front seat of his car, in the driver's seat of his car, and he's talking to Murphy on the phone.
You can tell he kind of knows this story.
And so when Murphy starts telling him it's that Culebra is a Hebrew phrase. And before he could tell him, he's like, and it means, but before he can tell him what it means, Slevin is sitting in the back seat, and he leans forward and he says, bad dog. And then we get the shot of the mother in the kitchen, and the door opens, and she turns and sees the shotgun, and then the camera pans up, and it's Bukowski.
And it's Stanley Tucci.
Bukowski. He's the one that killed Slevin's mother.
And as it's being told to him, right? Yeah, and as Slevin's talking to him, his head starts to sink. He's like, I'm fucked.
And so Slevin shoots him while he's still on the phone with Murphy.
And Murphy's like, what happened?
Yeah, so Murphy's trying to talk to him, but there's no answer on the other side because he's dead.
He has no head left.
Yeah. So after that, Slevin goes to the coroner's office to go and check to make sure that Lindsay's okay. And he gets there and she's laying on the ground.
Thankfully, she's a coroner because she had extra bags of blood.
Yeah. So she's laying on the floor, and he walks up to her, and she opens her eyes, and she's wearing a bulletproof vest, but she's got blood all over her. So then it cuts back to before Slevin went to kill the boss and the rabbi, and he's telling her everything. He's telling Lindsay everything that's going to happen. It's like, good cat.
Before he gets back to the apartment after getting the coffee, good cat sees him again. It's like, she's got to go too because she made me.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's right. It's because it flashes back to, when he was getting the coffee after they reached emotional catharsis. And he, good cat stops him in the hall. He's like, she's got to go. She made me. She got a picture of me. And Slevin's like, I know.
Yep.
So then
Slevin concocts a plan,
and he warns her. He tells her everything that's going to happen. So he gives her a bulletproof vest, and he straps a couple of blood bags to her and to her chest, and he's like, he's going to shoot you right here. And that's right where Good Cat shot her. So he was able to hit the blood bags and make it look like, it was her blood. And so basically they faked her death. And Good Cat was none the wiser.
Until we cut back to a bus depot.
And he is getting her to the bus. They're going to run away. Or he's just trying to get her away.
Yep.
He's trying to get her to safety.
Good Cat shows up.
And Good Cat shows up, sees the two of them together. And so Slevin turns around to go and talk to Good Cat. And he's like, I didn't think you'd understand.
I didn't think you would understand. It's like, I saved you.
Yeah.
Because I saw that look, and of course I understood.
Yeah. He's like, I would have understood. Yeah. So, Good Cat turns and walks away. He does not attempt to kill Lindsay again.
We get one. There's one other line here. Sorry, and it's one of my probably one of the more underrated Bruce Willis lines in the movie. And because Slevin looks, was like, "Well, how did he find us?" And Good Cat just looks at him like, "I'm a world-class assassin."
Yes, that's right.
How did he think I found you, fuckhead?
He's like, I'm a world-class assassin. How do you think I found you, fuckhead?
It took an hour and 45 minutes or so, but we finally got Bruce Willis delivering Bruce Willis type lines.
Yes. So then, so he lets, he walks away and allows Slevin and Lindsay to be together. And then it cuts back to 79 to Bruce Willis when he refused to shoot Henry. He gets Henry back in the car. He gets in, and before they drive off, he's like, let's listen to some music. And I love the way that they work this in there.
Yes, I agree.
Love it. As he goes and turns on the radio, and the DJ is talking. He's like, here's this new song from Ralph called the Kansas City Shuffle. And so the Kansas City Shuffle song starts playing on the radio as they drive away, as they drive down the road.
As they drive away, and it plays over the credits.
And then, it gets louder as the credits come out, and it ends up being the credits song.
Yep. And that is Lucky Number Slevin.
That is Lucky Number Slevin. And I really enjoyed this movie.
It's a very enjoyable watch.
I really enjoyed this movie.
I think if you can go into it, you don't need to expect it to be a Tarantino movie.
No.
You don't need to expect it to be on the level of other kind of at that level. You go in, just enjoy the performances and the ride of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's got so much talent in it.
Yes, everyone does well with the roles they have. I think the casting of it is right, especially like put Bruce Willis in that role. It's good because again, he's obviously not the lead, but he's definitely a principal actor, character in the movie. I always kind of like it when he's a little bit more, serious.
Yeah,
and Lucy Liu, Josh Hartnett gets one of his few leading roles.
Yeah,
it's a
Lucy Liu was great in this movie.
She was. Again, she has to play it like we're not supposed to know what her. Sorry, her motives are. Is she good? Is she bad? What's going to happen to her? She plays it all very well.
Yeah. So, and then also just putting Morgan Freeman and Sir Ben Kingsley together in a movie.
Yes.
It's just fantastic.
Oscar winners that act together suffocate together. Or is it something like that? I don't know. But yeah, I do like that it's Sir Ben Kingsley. Like, not all of his roles do they list him as Sir Ben Kingsley.
Nope. No, but this one they do. Sir Ben Kingsley.
I think it's probably, I could probably point to some other Morgan Freeman roles I like better than this one, but I really like the Ben Kingsley's role in this.
Yes, me too. Me too. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's not the best Morgan Freeman role, but he does fantastic in it. I mean, he's Morgan Freeman.
He's Morgan Freeman. I mean, it paves the way for his role in Want It.
Yes, it does. I was just about to say the same thing.
Shoot this motherfucker. So yeah, no, it's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend watching it.
So would I. Yeah, it's just a very fun movie to watch. It's a nice neo-noir mystery. It's got a good amount of action in it. It's a thriller,
fun dialogue.
Yeah, it's a fun watch.
I think even if you can kind of expect where the story's going, it's still a fun watch.
And if you listen to the Kansas City Shuffle song, it will be stuck in your head, and it's not a bad thing that it's stuck in your head.
Yes.
It's a very enjoyable song. And the rest of the music in the movie was great too. It's very appropriate for the movie. And yeah, so that's Lucky Number Slevin. Anything else you want to say about it?
I think that's it.
I do too. So if you enjoy what you're hearing, go ahead and check us out on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram and Threads. It is Rob and Tony's Cinematic Adventure. The and is spelled out A&D. It's not an ampersand like in the name of the podcast. We're also on Twitter or X. And that is R&T Cinematic. And we are also on Letterboxd. So if you want to check out some of our reviews on various movies, some we've done on the podcast, we haven't done, some we will do, some we won't do, then you can check us out on Letterboxd. That is Cine Adventure or Cine Adventure, CINE Adventure. And you can also just send us an email. What did you think of Lucky Number Slevin? Should we do more movies like this? Should we do less movies like this? What are your thoughts? We want to hear from you. You send us an email at robandtonycinematicadventure@gmail.com. Once again, the and is spelled out. It's not an ampersand like it is the name of the podcast. Yeah, let us know what you think. And if you like the podcast, go to our social media, give us a like and a follow. Go to your favorite podcast app, wherever you're listening to us. Hit that subscribe button. Give us a good rating, a good review. That's how we move up in the standings and the search and the recommendations, all that stuff. Anyway, next time, we are creeping up. We are creeping up on our 100th episode, folks.
We are getting so close. We didn't even reference that movie tonight.
We have not referenced that movie
I guess
tonight.
We technically have,
we
did say Tarantino.
Yes, we did. But that's not even the movie we're doing next.
No.
Yeah, so next, we are going to be talking about a comedy.
That's appropriate for the end of September.
Yes, it is. It is very appropriate for the end of September. We are going to be talking about the Broken Lizard masterpiece.
Masterpiece is an appropriate word. It's so apt.
It really is. But yes, that movie that we're going to be talking about next time is Beer Fest.
Every rose has its thorn.
Yeah. So we are going to be talking about Beer Fest next time, just in time for Oktoberfest. Which, contrary to popular belief, Oktoberfest does not actually take place in October. It takes place in September. So
it prepares the way for October.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
Just like Beer Fest will prepare the way for October.
Yes.
And this is good because I think it's been about 2 months since we've had a good comedy, which is Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
So, granted, Pirates has a lot of humor to it also, I guess. But
and this is one
it's not strictly a comedy.
This is one that there's a good chance that less people have seen this one than they have Wedding Crashers.
There is a good chance of that. And Broken Lizard, it's popular, but not to the extent that Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson and Will Ferrell are popular.
This is This is more one of those sort of cult comedies.
It's cult niche type comedy, yes. But I'm excited for this.
I am too.
Because it has Monique.
Yeah, it does. It does have Monique. And it has Willie Nelson.
And Cloris Leachman.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for next week.
Cloris Leachman.
Cloris Leachman making fire with a sausage, so to speak.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
So,
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. But anyway, so join us next time for Beer Fest.